Welcome to Reading Newspaper for You. This is Indian Express coverage on world news page. I am reading a portion of newspaper for you. Friends, yesterday there was a lack of coverage about the tension and war situation between in Iran and Israel. But today the newspaper has taken note of the international situation arising out of this tension. Let us read it out. I am reading it for you to help you listen out so that if you have missed this news item, you can cover it up while doing anything else. No truce until Hamas frees all hostages. Israel PM assures cabinet colleagues in meeting held to mark 6 months of war. So this is the news item for Monday, the 8th April 2024. Jerusalem. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Sunday said Israel was one step away from victory. The Gaza war and vowed there would be no truce until Hamas frees all hostages. He was speaking in a cabinet meeting marking 6 months of war that broke out on October 7 after an unprecedented attack on Israel by Hamas militants. He said, "We are one step away from victory, but the price we paid is painful and heartbreaking." Speaking as truce talks were expected to resume in Cairo with international mediators, he said, there will be no ceasefire without the return of hostages. It just won't happen. He stressed that Israel is ready for a deal. Israel is not ready to surrender. Instead of international pressure being directed at Israel, which only causes Hamas to harden its positions, the pressures of the international community should be directed against Hamas. This will advance the release of hostages. Israel has faced a storm of international outrage over the killing of 7 aid workers of US based food charity World Central Kitchen in a Gaza airstrike on 1st April. US President Joe Biden, in a phone call with Netanyahu Thursday, demanded an immediate ceasefire and hinted at making US support for Israel conditional on curtailing killing of civilians, improving humanitarian conditions. Netanyahu, meanwhile, accused Iran of being behind several attacks against Israel, though through its proxies. Anyone who hurts us or plans to hurt us, we will hurt him. We put this principle into practice all the time and in recent days. Netanyahu added, fears that the war in Gaza could spread have intensified after Iran vowed to hit back for the killing of 7 of its revolutionary guards in an airstrike Monday on the consular annex of its embassy in Damascus. Iran's leaders have pledged retaliation, and the leader of Lebanon's Iran backed Hezbollah movement, Hassan Nasrallah, has called the consulate strike a turning point. Here on this side, it's about the response of Iran to the consular attack by Israel in Damascus, Tehran. Iran warns of attack targeting Israeli missions. An advisor to Iran's supreme leader warned on Sunday that Israeli embassies are no longer safe after the strike in Syria, in which Tehran blamed on Israel killed seven Revolutionary Guards members. The embassies of the Zionist regime are no longer safe. Yahya Rahim Safavi, senior advisor to Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, was quoted as saying by INSA news agency. Tehran has vowed to avenge Monday's airstrike on Damascus that labeled Iranian embassy's consular annex, killing seven Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps (IRGC), Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps (IRGC), Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps members, including two generals. The resistance front is ready. Now, how it the response will be, we have to wait. Safabi said, nothing that confronting this brutal regime is a legal and legitimate right. Noting that confronting this brutal regime is a legal and legitimate right. He also noted that multiple Israeli embassies around the region have been shuttered. This was no immediate comment. There was no immediate comment from Israel. Monday's attack, which Britain based War Monitor Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said killed 16 people, was the fifth raid on Syria in a week blamed on Israel. Among the dead were General Muhammad Reza Jihadi, Muhammad Hadi Haji Rahimi, who were senior commanders in Quds Force IRGC Foreign Operations Arms. Jihadi 63 had held several commands during a career spanning more than 40 years. He was the most senior Iranian soldier killed since United States missile strike at Baghdad airport in 2020 killed Quds Force Chief General Qasim Soleimani. Monday's strike in Damascus took place against the backdrop of the Gaza war, which began with Hamas' October 7 attack on Israel, which killed 1,170 people, mostly civilians. Tehran backs Hamas but has denied any direct involvement in the attack, which sparked a massive Israeli retaliation against Gaza strips. Here, one important thing can be noted that both Israel and Iran, in their harsh, inhuman attacks, are just violating international norms and international laws. We don't justify either. Neither Tehran's involvement in the Hamas attack of Israeli civilians 6 months back, nor the Israeli retaliation in Damascus and any other place. But what is important is that if there is a war or there is any coercive action, it should be legal. What happens when you fight an illegal war? Because it is equated with terrorism. It is a war crime. Why America justified dropping bombs on Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It was because Japan fought an unjust war on United States of America in 1941 when it attacked Pearl Harbor without declaring a war. So there would be many instances when one country takes advantage of an undeclared war of the other side. In 1971, India took advantage of a Pakistani attack undeclared because Pakistan had not declared the war and wanted to take things by surprise. It became India's legitimate right to retaliate in the whichever way it wanted fit it found fit to. So both the countries are seemingly violating the international law, the settled law of war, and this news item is very important for understanding international situations, the situations of the Middle East, the relations of Israel with the rest of the world, West's response to Iran, possibility of a full blown war between Iran and the West, between Iran and Israel, all these things. So, friends, with this, I stop this video. Hope it helps.